Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Friday, June 21st. It is about 8:20 in the morning, so we're an hour and 10 minutes away from the start of trading. And today we should be in for a wild day in terms of volatility. And the primary reason for that is it is the triple witching day, where a lot of options come up for expiry. And there will be people who are in the money purchasing those options or transacting those options and taking the shares. And those not in the money, probably letting them expire. Some of them may decide to take them, depending on how close they are to the value that was looking to transact, so the call price that they originally set. But what I anticipate is we're going to see some downward pressure on a lot of the most popular names out there, because we probably have, as an example, a lot of folks who had said a couple of months ago when they bought the option, and a call option at that, meaning that they think the option's going to go up or the price will go up in value, which would drive the option up in value. Maybe they set to buy NVIDIA at $1,000, which is now $100 if we do the 10 times split. And now that stock's trading at $130. They may take that stock for the $100 and then sell it immediately. So call the option and take the stock, buy the stock for what they initially set the price for, which is $100 and paid for in the option, and then sell it immediately for the market value at $130. And that's going to create a tremendous amount of volume within the market today. And what we can see heading into the open in an hour and 10 minutes is that all of the major indices are down slightly, not a tremendous amount, but they're in the red going into the open. The NASDAQ down 36, the Dow down 25, and the S&P 500 down 10. So it'll be an interesting day to keep an eye out for what transpires here. But what you may find is in some of these stocks that have done extremely well over the first 6 months of the year and have achieved new highs, you may see some pullback on those. So today may not be a good day if you own those to sell those. You may want to wait for those to recover in the coming days and weeks, but you may see some pullback. Now, if you do need to exit and are in need of the capital that you have invested, then maybe putting in an early market order for those and getting out before or as the market begins to open may be a strategy. I can't predict, obviously, how the market's going to do and how an individual stock's going to do, but if you want to get out, it may be better to get out when you see it pop a little during the day, and that may be right at the open. It may be within the first 30 minutes of trading. Anyway, as we scroll down through our list of health and retail, not a lot going on here. You can see Nike is up pre-market almost $1.50. So it's finally broken through that $95 range. And it does have earnings coming out in 6 days. So we'll see what happens there. Overall, retail is okay these days, but not great. We do have some activity. We've been talking about JB Hunt recently. It's up 283 pre-market. Now, whether that sticks or not remains to be seen at the open. But this stock, as I talked about in yesterday's video, has definitely taken a hit in terms of price. And if we look at the 1 month chart, you can see that it's definitely trading near a 1 month low, but also near a 6 month low and even near a 1 year low. If we take a look at the 5 year, it's certainly not at a low, but it is at a low for the 1 year level. And I think is a pretty good value at this point to see that pop up a little bit. And it looks like it's doing just that today in the pre-markets. If we get down to oil is a bit of a rosy picture today. We can see that if we scroll down to crude is now in the green and up above 81.30. So that's a positive. It's climbing back towards 85. As long as we continue to see that climb, I do believe that oil stocks will continue to climb along with it. One of the ones that did well, a number of them did well yesterday, but Exxon obviously up $2.36. Valero was up $2.53. Chevron up $1.49. So we do have some positive movement in the oil sector. We have seen some slow growth over the last couple of weeks as oil has started its recovery and appears to be continuing to recover. Now we get down into our tech stocks, and one of the ones that had a lot of volatility yesterday was CrowdStrike. So CrowdStrike off of its highs in the 390s. I think this is one that we're going to see a lot of options activity in today because of its inclusion in the S&P 500. There's going to be a lot of rebalancing required in different portfolios to accommodate that stock. So I do think we're going to see some volatility there. I think Apple, one of the big names, should have some significant volatility in that stock as well. It off $4 yesterday, CrowdStrike off $7.37. I think we'll see some in Palo Alto. It was off yesterday down to $3.11, about a $6 decline, but looks to be up pre-market, unlike some of the others mentioned a moment ago. And then we have your ARM holdings up at 160. This is going to be a big one with volatility today. I'm assuming people have got into this with call options in the 100, 110, 120 range and sitting at 160. They are likely going to take those and then sell those and maybe clear that position. You've got some others on the move below. So Lam Research down $18 and down 28 yesterday. Another company that probably will see some options activity driving that price. And then down to Meta. Meta had a okay day yesterday. It was up a couple of bucks, but it's been kind of hovering in the 490 to 505 range. I think this has the potential for a pullback today into the low 490s with some option activity. And then we scroll down to the biggest name in the index, which is NVIDIA. And here you've got NVIDIA down almost $5 yesterday, down $2 today. So again, I do believe that the options activity is going to drive volume in some of these big names. Google had a positive day yesterday, up $1.26. It's off slightly. Google, in my mind, is still quite undervalued in this space and being overlooked significantly. I think it's a super attractive purchase. I think this should go to 179, 180 in the next 5 days, and then up to 185 in the coming 30 days. But we may see a pullback between now and then during that time period. NVIDIA's starting to recover after positive earnings last week. We may see some activity in this as well around options activity. And then we get down to our financials. And this is where we may also see some big moves. Probably some options bought with the hope that, or the thinking that interest rates would have been cut by now over the last couple of months when those options were bought. And so we have seen some positive activity and movement upwards in a lot of these financial stocks. M&T up 245 pre-market here, which is a pretty big bump for that. Goldman up $1.63, not as big of a bump, but certainly still into the positive. I would expect M&T to come down today in price as opposed to up. And then we'll see what happens with the other financials as the options expire and we see the volume. What I'd be looking for today in the market, if you're looking at a stock, is I'd be looking at its volume. Let's take SoFi as an example. You can see here in the data below that the volume is 31.717 million and the average volume is 40. I would be looking for the volume of the day to be greater than the average volume. That's going to be a good indicator that if the stock is going up, it will continue to go up, but if it's going down, it's likely to continue to go down based on that volume activity. So be aware of that as one of the things to look at. You may also want to look at some other factors there, obviously, when valuing a stock, but that would be one that I would pay close attention to today based on the options trading activity that's going to occur. Good luck in your trades. I hope you're enjoying these videos.